Okay, hi. It's Thursday morning. I handed back your SBA 5s last night. Those that I've gotten, there were a couple of people who didn't hand them in. Please do so as soon as possible. Um, and most of you did okay. No problems here. But there was a sizable minority of you that had trouble uh, with distinguishing between current assets and liabilities and long-term assets and liabilities. So just a very quick video on the distinction there. This is covered on pages 173 through 175 in Zietlow. Starting on this page. But just a quick explanation, right? So we know that assets are what we own, liabilities are what we owe. So in terms of the sustainability of the organization financially, you want to know if the organization owns more than it owes. Because if not, there'll come a time when the people who you owe money to are going to come knocking at your door, and you're not going to have enough of the stuff you own will not be valuable enough so that you can actually pay off what you owe. You'll be Dunsky, okay? That's a technical term. And so when you look at some of the ratios we had, the debt ratio is the one that compares total liabilities to total assets. And that's what we were just talking about, right? But there's also the question of timing. Like, when's the piper going to call and knock on your door, right? And so in the case of when you just look at total assets and total liabilities, it may be that those IOUs the IOUs that you owe, well, maybe they're not coming due for another 5-10 years, in which case you've got lots of time to figure out how you can get more assets so you'll be able to pay them off. Okay? But what happens when your IOUs are going to be coming due in the near term? Do you have enough money in the near term to pay your bills? And so that's where the current ratio comes in, okay? And the current ratio compares your current assets to your current liabilities. So this notion of current liabilities and assets versus your total liabilities and assets is an important distinction. So what is it? Current assets and liabilities have to do with what you own and what you owe within a year's time. Okay, so current liabilities are IOUs and bills that you're going to have to pay within a year. Okay, so the question is, do you have enough liquidity? Do you have enough cash or cash equivalents? Or the technical term definition is, do you have assets that can be converted to cash within a year's time in order to pay those IOUs, those current liabilities that are going to have to be paid off within that same year? Okay? So if I was going to just make a couple of analogies to your personal life, maybe, the issue of current liabilities and current assets is important in case you're one of those people who are house poor, right? You may have, bought a fabulous house, it's a wonderful estate, but now you're house poor because you don't have any cash to buy anything, and certainly don't have any cash to actually pay off the student loan that's coming due, and you have to pay off every year, right? And so in that case, your current ratio is a mess because you don't have enough cash to pay off your student loan, even though you got this huge, beautiful house that you own, but you can't convert it to cash right away or you don't want to, well, you can't convert to cash right away because the market's down, and so you're sunk. Okay. On the other hand, staying with the real estate analogy, in terms of total assets and total liabilities, again, think about the house that you have bought, beautiful big house, and in the short term, you got a mortgage that had a balloon payment on it, right? Where the monthly mortgage payments in the short term are really tiny, and maybe in the 5th year they balloon up. And when you took out this loan, you thought, 5 years from now, I'll be rich, I'll be making lots of money, I'll junk this nonprofit career and go into Wall Street finance. So I don't need to worry about it. But the debt ratio that compares total assets to total liabilities will capture that at some point in the future you're going to have to pay the piper, because your balloon mortgage is going to come due, and either you're going to have the total assets to cover it, or your total liabilities are going to swamp you and you're going to be bankrupt again. Okay, so enough. Where do you find current liabilities and current ratio totals? In the SBA 5, there is a line that totals current assets and current liabilities for you. You just have to find it. Okay? All right. I think that's all for now. Thanks.